Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, and it's January 17th, and we are back with a live unboxing of this Monteverde pen. As if you weren't able to understand by the title of this video, we are going to take a look at the Essenza, Monteverde Essenza, which actually was recommended by Mr. Penboy Roy as the pen of choosing for this unboxing video today, and I think you'll see why once we start to take a look at the details. So, as you would see here, Monteverde pens come in this green box, being that the name of the company, Monteverde, is Green Mountain, essentially, in Italian. So that's why they went with the green box here. We're going to shake this sleeve loose. There we go. And reveals a leatherette box. It is not real leather, although it looks like it. Looks pretty nice. This is dark green. Has stitching along the sides here and on the bottom. It's a nice soft feel. Just put that over to the side, and we're going to open it up. It's a clamshell box, so we'll open it up like thus, and we reveal the pen inside. A lovely cream interior. Pen's snug under the sash that's here. And you see this little tab here. This little tab's telling me, oh, there's something underneath inside that we need to explore. So let's take a look. And lo and behold, we do have a couple of ink cartridges. These are standard international. These are the small guys, so fairly easy to find these in various other brands. Monteverde sells them along with Visconti and Diamine, and several other manufacturers sell the same type of ink cartridge. Then we also have a little instructional card, which is helpful. It's a screw type converter, so you need to know, that you twist it into the section as opposed to plugging it in. And you have the cartridge here, you just plug in. So good to have those instructions handy. And then also you have a warranty card. So limited international lifetime warranty on anything related to craftsmanship and manufacturing defects and whatnot. So that's always good to have on hand. So we'll tuck that away in the base, and we have the pen. So this is the Essenza. It's an octagonal-sided pen, which means it's got 8 faceted sides. As you can see, it's like the light is glinting off of the sides here. Fairly broad sides, and it really illuminates what Monteverde refers to as European grade acrylic resin. So does that mean it's necessarily Italian resin? Does it mean that it's has any sort of sourcing in Europe whatsoever? Probably not, but hey, it looks good. So you can see a high level of chatoyance, and especially the blue colors. You could see, like that just beautiful cat's eye look, sort of luminosity to the colors that are apparent here. And you have chrome trims, chrome section, chrome finial that's here, chrome finial that's on top of the cap here with the Monteverde Mountain logo engraved on the top there. Chrome clip with a little ball end to it. Chrome cap band. Inside you have the plastic threads to thread on the barrel of the pen. And you have the chrome section. I know some people, I don't like the metal sections, and I would have felt probably a lot better if this was just all acrylic resin all the way through. Just get the grip at least in acrylic resin. I love the feel of the warmth of the acrylic resin, and the metal, for some people it doesn't do it, and it doesn't do it for me either. I do like a non-metal section to be able to grip onto, because it does, especially after a long writing session, start to kind of slip and slide a little bit there. But overall, I mean, it's a very impressive, nice weight of a pen. Let's see, I just want to go over Essenza. It means essence in Italian. So, there's a lot that can be said lately about Essentialism, which is a book that I read recently and is a popular book from what I understand. There's also, you have minimalism, which is another thing. And then you have the Netflix series with Marie Kondo, which is essentially discarding all of the useless items and all the things that make us miserable in our life, because they're just not necessary. So the Essenza is supposed to kind of bring it back to the essentials. And the essential being that it's a nice writing instrument, beautiful, and does come in a variety of other colors here, which I will pick out for you here. So I got this. Hey, Mike. Hey, Roy, I saw you jumped on too. How's it going, guys? See, I told Roy, I asked him, what do you want me to take a look at? I want to do an unboxing today. And he said, do the Essenza. And I said, sure. We haven't done that before. So, hi, Nia. I'm sorry, I missed you there. I'm sorry. I recognized the other names, and it just popped in my head there. But yeah. So we have on the left here we have the stormy clouds, I believe, early dawn, which is this kind of like purplish blue gray, and then we have sunny skies. So these are the three colors. You know, like looking at the three colors that they came out with this collection, you know, sunny skies jumps out at me just very, I mean, it's, if you were to say which two are not the same, you could even say that these might be just too close to each other to be different colors, you know, because they do very much see, you know, they do very seem quite similar. The only thing is that with these guys, I feel there's more translucency. You can kind of see through parts of the resin. It seems like it's a little bit thicker, and then when I remove the cap here, you could kind of see the nib and everything. You can kind of see it through the bottom part of the cap resin that's here. Same deal with this guy here too. I feel you could kind of, it has more translucency, especially through that thinner part of the cap. But, you know, when it comes to overall va-va-voom color, the sunny skies you can't go wrong with. There's just so much beautiful, radiant color coming out of this guy that you know, that these other, they're very subtle and muted and kind of, you know, just kind of moody. I want to say moody. You know, they just kind of look like they've had a bad day. But this guy is so bright and optimistic and so beautifully colorful. But enough about my editorializing on this. You want to know a little bit more details about the pen. The dimensions, we have Richard from the Caribbean, and you must be having some sunny skies over there, hopefully. So we have closed is 5.19 inches, which is 131.8 millimeters. Open, like so, is 4 3/4 inches, or 4.75 inches, which is 120.65 millimeters. Then you have posted, which this guy posted really long. It doesn't even, pretty much doesn't even cover, it covers pretty much that barrel finial that's there. So posted we have 6.5 inches, which is 165.1 millimeters. Then you have your section diameter, and I took this measurement kind of right in the middle, is 0.39 inches or 10 millimeters. And then your total weight is 1.3 ounces with both the cap and the main section of the pen here. And then just the body itself is 0.8 ounces. So I did not get the grams measurements. I should have done that too, but shame on me. I should have put the grams, but you could always convert it and do a Google search or whatever. But you know, it's just it's a heavier pen, and as we'll get to the writing sample, I'll show you just kind of like what my thoughts are on it as far as like whether it's good posted or not. The nib size available for the fountain pen are extra fine, medium, broad, and 1.1 millimeter stub, which that's what is on this guy, and that's what we'll be writing with today. This is a 1.1 millimeter stainless steel stub nib from Monteverde. However, and because I always get questions like this, we do have two other alternatives for this pen, which we have the Conklin Omniflex, and we also have an Edison, which is a Yovo nib. So I tried this out earlier because I know somebody was going to ask me. And what we could do is for since essentially the Conklins and the Monteverdes are distributed by the same company, probably manufactured in the same plants. So they essentially made them exactly the same, so that you could just screw out the nib here. So I just gave it a little screw out. I'll do that a little bit slower next time. But then you would put in, let's say, the Omniflex nib. So you would just then screw this part on, get it nice and snug in there, and attach the converter by screwing it in. And you're good to go with an Omniflex nib on a Monteverde pen. However, if you wanted to do a JoWo nib, you would then take this apart here, and you would have to essentially just take the actual nib itself and replace it. So instead of just going and screwing in this part here, because it's not going to fit, it just kind of spins around. The threads on here are actually too small to catch inside of here. So what you would have to do then, because the nibs are the same, the tines themselves are the same, curvature and whatnot, so you could still swap them, but you would just have to take out and just replace the nib and then put it with the feed of the Monteverde nib. So not too terrible. It's kind of like that one video we did with the pen BBS. It's not too terribly involving. It's just a matter of just kind of putting stuff together and taking it apart. So as long as you're fairly comfortable with doing that sort of thing, you're good to go. I think I'm putting it on the wrong one here, am I? I kind of lost track of what I was doing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this was okay. So this was the, see, you guys really messed me up right now. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. So, all right. So yeah, you could do some nib swapping on there. Just figured I'd kind of do a little bit of a sidebar on that one. And we'll get to doing a writing sample. And just feel free to shoot out any questions if you got them while I'm kind of putting stuff and moving it away here. Today's ink of choice is Monteverde Yosemite Green ink. And I already inked up the converter here, as you can see. Like I mentioned, is a screw-in converter, so instead of pushing it in, you're going to screw it in. I think Roy's going to really like this color of ink because it's a savage green ink without being called savage. I'll put this over here. Oh, she did send you a bottle of that. Sweet. I think that would have gone well. So I was looking originally at California teal. I was thinking of doing California teal with this because that's been a pretty nice color. I enjoy that color quite a bunch because it has some good sheen on it as well. But this is Yosemite Green. So you have the stub nib here. Now the stub, if you're not familiar, has a rectangular shape to the tip, which affords you a thick downstroke. So that's why they call 1.1 millimeters, that this stroke here is roughly about 1.1 millimeters. And you have a horizontal stroke that is exceptionally thinner than that by comparison. So the effect here is that you'd be able to have a calligraphy style of handwriting with minimal effort, no flexing required. You could just simply just write. You could even print if you'd like to. And it just adds a little bit of flair to your handwriting. Now, I will say that this nib, and to speak generally of stub nibs, they have a relative sweet spot because of the fact that you can't really roll. If you tend to roll your handwriting style and you get a little bit lazy, you're not constantly moving your hand along as you're writing, it's going to miss. So if you kind of like roll a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, it's going to be like, oh, well, I can't write with this. But so it really requires you to be conscious of how the nib is contacting the paper and just making sure that both tines are being evenly applied. Very similarly to how you would be operating a flex nib, because flex, you don't want to flex with the nib being rolled to one side or the other, because then you're going to flex disproportionately on one side or the other. You're going to end up having all sorts of problems with your nib alignment. So we'll do a little quick brown fox. Well, you see here, I have the cap on the side here. I was writing with it before. Writing it cap posted is usually my preference for anything that I usually do, but writing with this a bit cap posted is back heavy. So and it starts to feel, especially with the fact that the section is metal, it almost feels like the pen like wants to pull itself away from me, that it's constantly trying to like make my fingers slide towards the nib, and I don't like that. So I will have it without the cap posted, which is fine. I mean, it's in the grand scale of things, you're not, or in the grand scheme of things, I believe the expression goes. I'm kind of screwing those things up here today, but it's it's a trade-off. So if you really wanted, if you really love this material, you love the finish, you love the weight, the writing style, it's something you're gonna live with and you're gonna be fine with. It's having a cap that can't post is not the end of the world here, people. It really isn't. It's fine. So some people have been talking about, like, you have Flex Nib Friday, which is like a thing on Instagram and other places. But you could also have like Stub Nib Sunday if you want to. That'd be kind of cool if we did like a Stub Nib day. Yeah, I just like to kind of see the line variation in practice here, because that's what really like something like a stub or italic is known for. It gives you that extra little bit of variation in your writing, a little extra flair, which is cool. Um, so it just feels nice and weighty in the hand, and for a pen that actually retails under $100 and has this beautiful acrylic finish on it, and has that weight and that feel, and then has a good solid stainless steel nib that writes well out of the box, and actually comes with a converter. Oh my gosh, it comes with a converter. Like, these days, man, people are being so cheap about the converters and not putting converters in the box. But I mean, you have the full package here, and you have the fountain pens $95, but we sell it for 75.95, which is 20 off MSRP. And then there's a ballpoint for people who like that sort of thing. No, right, I don't have a Vertigo that's easily accessible, and I can't tell Josh or Chris to go get one because they're not in the office right now today. So, but I would be cool to kind of compare it with. So, comparison to like the Mirage, the Mirage is definitely lighter than this and has less hardware on it. This has got some heavy duty, it has like a more substantial feel on it. And also too is that the section of the Mirage is acrylic, whereas this has got the metal section, more similarly to, like, let's say um, the Van Goghs would be. But it's a nice collection. I mean, for the price too, I think it was mentioned the ballpoint. The ballpoint that's available in this is actually $10 less. So I mean, like by all means, like the fountain pen is a great deal in that because it's only $10 more than the ballpoint is. It's really not it's not an expensive pen at all, and they don't really go crazy on the whole upcharge for the fountain pen system. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, it's for the price. It's a great pen, and I see why Roy enjoys it so much, and it's also very Instagram friendly because you see, like I'm just able to kind of balance things out here, and actually this one doesn't want to balance, but the other ones did. Yep. Well, that one doesn't balance. But hey, look, they kind of stay on their own so that you could take a picture of them and then share it on Instagram. That'd be kind of cool, right? So, parting question on this is what essential function do you do with your pens? What essential function do you do with your pens? Do you write checks, shopping lists, to-dos, important signatures? I'm just curious. I'd just like to see that in the comments and just get your opinions on what essential uh, functions during your day that, let's say, this Monteverde Essenza can do for you. So, just let me know how you guys like this and what your essential tasks that you like taking care of with a nice pen are. And I'll look forward to next time we could talk. So that takes care of the Monteverde Essenza fountain pen review and unboxing. And appreciate you guys tuning in and stay inky, my friends. Take care.